Again, I know I can see that the average age here is over 40 years old, so that's all right. Yeah, so let's just do some real quick spinal mobility stuff. Again, let's start with our standard cat and cow, right? And breathe in, round your back. Breathe out, arch your back a bit. Do this about 5-6 times, nice and slow. Just try to really move and push that range of motion. Good, 2 more times. Good, 1 more. Good, now we're gonna go side to side. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna swivel and point both of your feet to one side, then you're gonna look over, so you bend your spine in a sideways curve, and then swivel to the other side, and then look over again, just to, again, get your spine to move. So we'll do like 4 per side or something like that. So just nice and slow. You might even feel the side of your abs getting stretched a bit, which is good. All right. Good, and then now let's take a big step forward. Open up our hip, push our hip down so you feel the hip flexors. Right, this will help when we get electric chairs and stuff. So now from here. You mean when Alan gets it? No, all of you guys will get, right? And now we're gonna rotate up this way towards the knee, right? That's in the front. Just rotate, and now rotate back to the other side. And then do this a few times. All right, switch the other side. On top of one thing to the other. So the reason why I like the lockdown and I play it a lot is because the older I get, the more I find that it's all about upgrading your positions as you go, right? And then to me, the lockdown is an upgrade in position in a lot of different situations and circumstances, right? So once I can get the lockdown, I can get to my positions, then I don't like to let it go. I want to get to a submission before I let it go, right? Because the reason why is sometimes you get a sweep, and then you get to mount, or you get to side control, then the other person is so good at getting out of that. You know, like nowadays, people are like so good at the kip and escape from the mount, right? When I get mount, some of the younger guys that kip, I'm like, fuck, okay, now I've lost it, right? Or I get the side control, then somebody like fucking Fang would fucking invert and do a backflip, and now he's on my, okay, shit, right? So, but if I can get the lockdown, I can actually lock in the younger guys, the more athletic guys, and then play my game, right? So you guys have seen the movie The Watchman? You know, the guy's like, no, I'm not locked in here with you. You are locked in here with me, right? Yeah, so that's pretty much what we want to be, right? So first step is to understand the lockdown and how to maintain it, because there is a chink in the armor. Well, are we all Chinese here? There's a chink. There's a chink in the armor in the. Oh, you are Japanese, sorry. In the lockdown, meaning that if you are not disciplined with controlling the lockdown, and if you get past, then of course, then there's like, it's harder to have a follow-up attack if you don't know what you're doing, right? So the first thing is let's make sure we understand the lockdown and how to keep that control nice and tight, all right? So I'm gonna have John help me out. So real straightforward. The first thing we're gonna do is to really understand what the lockdown really is, right? So anytime I can get my outside leg over and across his calves like this, technically I have a lockdown, right? I don't even have to actually lock it, right? Like the original lockdown is like over, triangle your legs, and then lace it like that, right? Boom, I'm using ankle to ankle and lace it up like this. So, and then this is where a lot of people make the mistake of thinking the ankle hook is what's keeping him there, but it's really not, right? I don't even need the ankle hook. So the real control comes in either pinning his knee to the ground or squeezing my knee, my thighs, and keeping his leg, right? So this is really just a point of control when I want to start moving him,
So if you don't focus on this, and only on here, right? You see how loose this feels, right? So I'm only, if I think it's only the ankle that's controlling him, now it's actually easy for him to get his knee out, right? Because there's nothing stopping his knee. So when we do the lockdown, forget about the ankle, right? It's there if you need it, but focus on either pinning the knee like this or squeezing like this. All right, and now I have this. So now when John tries to move, right, it's tough, right? Because I have this, boom, bam, just like that. All right, so it's a squeeze. So now let's practice getting into the lockdown as the first thing. Okay, so I want you to drill this a couple of times. Once you get it, we can move on. Right, we're gonna go quick here. Okay, so we're gonna start from here, boom, and then you find your partner. All you're gonna do is to step over, and then do this. And now squeeze, boom, and just like that, all right? Now do this like a few times, bam, 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 squeeze. Squeeze, all right? That's it, okay? So first, get used to doing that, and then we're gonna start understanding and play a game to really keep that control, right? And then a lot of awesome attacks are gonna go from there. So find a partner, and let's go. Go, right? So again, now you have to start thinking about there are 3 ways you can control this person when I have the lockdown, right? So let's get used to maintaining the upper body grip, right? So now I got 3 ways to control the lockdown, right? Pinch, staple, right? When I staple, I'm using my shin, I'm stapling the back, his knee on the ground like this, right? So I got pinch, staple, and stretch, right? So now I can cycle through the 3 controls depending on what this person does, right? So the best way to understand that is to actually go into a round where his goal is just try to, pass my lockdown, right? He's just gonna try to get his leg out. If he can get his leg out, so by definition, if he can pop his knee out like this, even I still kind of have this, he won, right? Then we start again, right? So we're here, ready, set, and go. Right, just like that. Then just try to maintain that for the entire round, okay? So each person will get 1 minute, and then we're actually gonna switch partners so you feel different strength level, different body types, and all that. We'll do this 2 rounds. So with the first partner, 1 minute, switch top and bottom, and then we'll switch to a different partner, do it again, and then we move on, all right? Sounds good? Now that's why we're going to move on to the ideal underhook lockdown position that you want to get to, right? So once we understand the power of getting to that position, then you will start to think about ways to get there, which I will also give you guys a couple ideas, right? But again, once you understand what it's kind of like when you play a butterfly guard, right? If you know that, hey, I can get double underhooks and then get into my butterfly guard, then you know how powerful that position is, then your brain's starting to look for ways to get there, right? So this is like one of those things, right? You want to get to that position, and this is what we call a decision position, or DP for short. All right, guys? Cool. And then we want to get to that decision position. So we can hang out there and then plan our attacks, all right? Cool. Makes sense? So this is an underhook lockdown position where I'm in my lockdown and I have my underhook here. All right, just like that, all right? So I'm kind of like on my side, just like any good jiu-jitsu. I'm on my side. So as you can see, when I'm here, I'm kind of on my side, so I'm relying on the knee pinch here, right? So this is the knee pinch. Boom. This is number 1. Number 2, I want my hip to be away, right? Like this. Boom. So now it's harder for him to, so I want to shift out, right? If my hip is close, it's easier for him to push me onto my back. So like that, right? But if my hip is out, now it's hard for him to push me back, right? So knee pinch, hip out, and then lastly, I want my ear to be glued to his tummy. So this way, if he tries to guillotine or darts or whatever, it's really tough, right? Good, so let's get to that position first. Make sure you guys know what that position feels like. And then in the live round, I will have the top player try to attack you from there, and your goal is to stay safe there, right? Because once you can stay safe there, then there's like so many sweeps and.
It feels really bad. It's like a hip lock.
Yeah. There's a hip lock, and then you probably feel the calf a little bit.
Yeah.
And then if I want to be an asshole, I can really put pressure on your ribs on the side, so it's a overall a very strong position. But once you're there, you feel pretty vulnerable, right?
Yeah.
Because I could have swept in so many times there. Yeah. That's why we want to be able to stay safe there. Because again, the only chink in the armor is if you are not disciplined with where your head is, they can grab your head and do naughty things with it, you know. So cool. All right, guys. So good. All right, guys. Perfect. So better this round? Yeah, feels pretty good. All right, and that was pretty annoying. All right, good. So now let's actually use this to start setting up attacks now. All right. So this way we can start introducing other shit, right? So if there's one attack that you want to get good at, it's the electric chair. It's really just the electric chair, right? So we're here, boom, I'm in this position, right? My hip is back, I'm pinching my knee, boom, I'm keeping my head nice and strong, right? So from here, I have two ways, overhook, right? From here, I have two ways that I can go, right? I can either keep coming up, right, and try to push him this way, right, to try to get on top, right? That's one way. Then the other way is to get under his hip, right? So just remember you have two ways to go, right? So, and usually setting up one way, he's gonna start pushing back if I start driving in, right? And when he drives in, now I'm gonna get under his hip. So the way to do that is I'm not gonna try to just use my arm and try to throw him over, which a lot of people do, right? Yeah! Right, that's gonna be really tough, right? What I wanna do is to shoot my hip under him, right? You see how I made a hip switch, right? And when I get my hip under him, then he falls over, right? So here, hip, boom, then he falls over. And when he falls over, now this hook comes into place. I can start lifting the hook, and now I can start pushing him over to this side. All right? Good, so get really good at pushing, get the arm scoop, shoot the hip in, and then I'm turning to face up. Right, now I'm turning to face up, lift the hook, and now I'm gonna start whipping the hook this way, boom. And now I'm over to this position, all right? Cool, and then we'll get the details. We'll talk about the details after you get there, once you master the two directions, okay? Cool, yeah, any questions? All right, good, let's try it. So, first round is a practice round, all right? So top player, don't try to smash the other person, but maintain like decent base, right? Don't roll over if you don't feel like he's doing the right things about shooting your hip under, right? But don't like actively try to stop it either. All right, cool. And then, yeah. So to do that, so from there. All right, good. Because there will be people that you can tap from that position. So we switch to something else. All right. And then you guys are gonna love this shit. All right. So we're here, boom, it got to here, bam, I rolled him over, boom, and yank him back in. I'm like, oh shit, this guy just ain't tapping into anything, right? Now I wanna pop over to the backside. So I'm like, I'm rotating already this way, not tapping, so now I'm just gonna grab my hand right here and push and pop my head over. Cover his hip and come up to here. All right? So this is where we wanna be. Okay, now John can really see shit, so I will have to show him later. Yeah. But now you see this leg right here, his foot, right? So I'm gonna use my hook to feed this towards my hand. And I'm gonna grab the toe. Okay. Done, boom. Like a toe hold. Right. Yeah, toe hold, slice, everything.
No, right here.
Yeah, it's at a very weird angle, so you feel the ankle, you feel, and then if we get it all the way, right? If somebody's super tough, then you grab it with both hands and yank, then it starts to fuck with the knee as well. So
Yeah, it's called the Vapourizer. So, Alan here. He needs to see it, right? He needs to see it, right?
I need to see it, Alan.
Yeah. So we're here, bam, whipping over, boom, pulling back in. I'm in my electric chair. This motherfucker just won't tap. I'm like, shit, this guy tough. And then from here, I'm just gonna keep my shoulder pressure, bring my hand here to cover the leg, make sure he can get this out. Push, and just pop my head out. Come up. Oh, shit. And come up, right here. You see this hand is covering the hip, my chest is on his foot, on his leg, so he can't turn back, he can't do anything. But I'm still on my side, right?
You still have the same leg.
Right, now this leg configuration here. Okay. Now I can't reach his toe, so I'm just gonna bring this in.
Oh,
Grab the toe.
Wow, John, you have really flexible ankles right now. Like, whoa.
Yeah, so that's the, yeah.
You should feel it if you're so inclined.
Yeah, so that is, like I almost want to get to the attack nowadays just because of the fun factor. The person can't really see what the fuck you're doing when you get it on them. The person like, what the fuck just happened? You know, just for that. Just for that, I love doing it. But once you do it a couple times, they know it's coming. But so they'll fight a bit harder, but it's still a very high percentage submission once you can get to the other side. So the most important part to practice for this one is to use the electric chair and really keep nice and tight to get to the other side without them being able to bring their leg back to the other side, all right? So just focus on that. Don't ever just let go of the leg. Always replace one control with the other. Get the chest on top, smash, control the hip, all right? That's the most important part, okay? Cool, good, so same thing, let's practice that a bit. The electric chair, and then if that doesn't work, get to the back side, which is called a lock drag. So it's like lockdown with a leg drag. All right. So now when you get to the back side, right? That's called it's like lockdown with a leg drag, right? Yeah. So visually, it's easier to think of it that way, right? So if you can reliably get to either electric chair, if that doesn't work, get to the lock drag, and then you know you're in business. All right. So now it's a matter of finding other avenues to get there, right? So once you can get there from different ways, then it's easier to focus on what to work on, right? Instead of having like a billion attacks from there, just get really good with like those two, all right? So now let's take a look at getting into that position using other styles of lockdown, all right? So the first, just because he asked that question, so I will switch the order a little bit, but because I'm gonna do both. But there is actually a style of lockdown that can be done from like a X guard, single leg X, when the person's standing up, all right? And it's called it's like an ankle lock grip lockdown, all right? So let's say, because again, right now we're relying on people on their knees or they're smashing us in half guard to get to the lockdown, right? But if you want an upgrade in your position, you can initiate it as well, right? So let's say if John is just really good at, defending my leg locks or whatever, my X guards, I'm like, shit, you know what? I actually don't want to be here because he's so good at defending these, right? So right now, I can actually get to a lockdown from here, right? Yeah, you see that? So now I have a lockdown with an ankle lock grip, which is actually fucking annoying, all right? Which is actually really annoying here, all right? And now this is your question. For this style of lockdown, it's actually stronger to open up because of
The extension.
my angle, right? Because of my angle, I'm diagonal from you, right? So once we get the lockdown here, now I'm gonna do that exact same thing, open up my lockdown, so I got both feet right here. And now all I need to do is to push and turn him over. And this is actually almost, he probably feels a lot shittier than a regular lockdown because of the angle.
Yeah,
Right?
my hip is more pressured than it was.
Yeah.
When you had my leg up.
Yeah, so once we're here, and then again, we have the exact same attacks now, right? Boom, bam, bam, electric chair. All right, boom, bam, boom, lock drag. All right, so everything else is the same except for getting there, right? Cool, so now we can explore different ways to get there. So 2 common scenarios to think about, right? Obviously, if I'm here, boom, if he does this, and then a lot of people crowd down to like try to pressure and pass through, right? Then this is when I can easily get to here. All right, so.
Can you see that one more time?
Yeah, I'll show it on other people as well, right? So we're here, boom, he does this, right? So usually what would you do? You would like, oh man, X guard, or man, try to re-attack the legs. But then they try to kill that by just coming in and crowding you like this, right? Yeah, so all I need to do is to find the ankle here, right? Lift, boom. Now I have the lockdown, all right? And once I'm here, ankle lock grip, don't ever let go of it. Push, bam, to the side. Now I'm here, all right? So that's one way to get into it. Right, there's not enough hip control. You would have to jump back into an ankle lock.
It doesn't feel like even with that leg, it's like this is what feels in trouble.
Yeah, so it's an alternative attack to leg locks, right? So obviously, if your leg lock is really good, now they gotta worry about 2 things, which is even better, right? So I'm not saying forego one for the other, but they really should be working in tandem, right? So again, the second way now is from X guard. You can explore both, right? Depending on what game you play more, right? So if I'm in X guard, so we know X guard, I can extend him, right? And then if he doesn't do anything, I'm gonna start trying to do the technical get up, right? We all know that one, right? Good, so again, a reliable response is when I extend him, he starts trying to put pressure back onto this side. Cool. Now I'm here again, right? So these are the 2 entries you can explore and practice a little bit. Yeah, then you would get there. And oh yeah, yes, Josh. So in the beginning, I thought that's complete bullshit. but then I practiced because I'm like, dude, nobody's just gonna let you get into a lockdown like that. Yeah. But then I've been hitting it quite reliably because people don't actually expect it, right? Yeah. So I'm here. He does this, he crowds in, boom, like that, right? See, like grab your head, right? That happens a lot, right? Happens a lot, right? So all I need to do is to get this foot right here, right? So I don't move this leg. This is the control right here.
Yeah, that's, boom. Oh my God.
Right? And now push, boom, over here, right? Some people even just tap to this. Yeah.
It's worse.
Yeah, some people even just tap to that, And now from here, again, to get to electric chair, uppercut, over, get in, done, So, second way to do it, X guard, boom, I'm here, X guard, extend, right? So again, he doesn't do anything, then I'm just gonna top him that way. So this is when they start turning into you like this, right? Same thing, lift, boom. Yeah. Now I'm here again, So.
Yeah. That's just discomfort in the lockdown.
Yeah, it's like right now after doing this, that lockdown feels worse than the regular lockdown. Yeah. I know. So so again, to explore those two entries. Like the first one from the single leg from the Ashi garami is probably the easier one to conceptually understand, right? The X guard one, there's like some footwork involved. Like if you guys don't see it right now, it will confuse you. So I would recommend doing the Ashi garami one. So you can do it real slow. You're here, boom, the person does this, and now he grabs your head, boom, right? And now all you gotta practice is bring this foot to the front like this. Right here, ankle to ankle, all right? Bring this out, step, boom, lockdown. All right, just practice that. So this way, conceptually, you'll get it. Then you'll start to see it from other places, right? The XR one, again, it will probably confuse you right now, okay? Cool. Ankle lock, lockdown, right? Some people who are stronger or bigger, they will, right? They will stay up and like grab you and stuff like that, all right? So, but it's an easy solution to that too, right? So we're here, boom, I got, bam, into my, but then now he turns, he grabs my head, I'm like, I just can't turn him to the side, right? But the good thing about it is there's all the space here. So.
You're up there anyway.
Now I can just go right. The more they force it like that, the more there's space here. Just scoop and get that electric chair like There's nothing stopping you from getting it. So just keep that in mind, all right? So let's just do that really quickly, and then we'll move on, all right? Good. So because previously we have all been starting from like more of an active position. Like I actively seeked out the lockdown, right? But sometimes it's because we're being smashed in half guard, all right? So this practice how to actually get to that electric chair from being smashed and flattened out in bottom half guard, right? So this is usually what happens, right? You're like, oh shit, I'm in half guard. The person's got his cross-face underhook, so now I'm stuck, right? So if I'm stuck here, right, usually you would do what? Like, try to, right, I do this, and then they eventually pass your guard, right? But the good thing is once I'm here, we already established that we can get to the lockdown, right? So we can start, boom, get into the lockdown. And then when you're flat, the best control is the knee pin type of a lockdown like that, all right? So this is called the Lotus lockdown. You're like doing a Lotus, right? So you're here, you're flaring your knees out and curl in at the same time. Curl, flare, and pin, just like that, right? So John, try to get out a little bit. No, it's not. It's tough, right? It's tough, right? So now I'm doing it like this. So as you can see, I don't care about the ankle, right? I don't care about the ankle at all at this point. It's just this and curl, right? Cool. So now I know I'm safe for a bit. Now I'm gonna use this to get into my electric chair, right? So this is like traditionally they would teach you like you have to get into like double underhook and all that kind of shit, but it's really tough. So the only thing that's required for this one is to get this hand in front of the face like this. All right, so if he's staying really tight, right, like cross face and all that, right, he's staying really tight like this, then I can just push and then get my hand here. And this is all I need. This frame is all I need, okay? Good, then the next step is very important. I'm going to bring the knee towards my chest, like this. Right? Cool, so again, I'm not lifting. I'm just bringing the knee to my chest, like this. Boom. Right, you see that? So John, try to apply more pressure. Boom. Hard to stop, right? So once I'm here, I have the scoop, I have the hook. Boom. Son of a bitch. Right? So this is a very effective entry. Yeah, very effective entry. Again, all you need is that frame in the front, all right? And then when you do this, so again, I'm not lifting, right? I'm just doing this, all right? Boom. Boom, just like that, all right? Good, so I want you guys to practice that first. So forget about going for the electric chair, anything like that. Just focus on using that little knee reaction to feel how the weight just shifts over and all the space opens up, all right? So let me do it on somebody else so John can see it. All right, Josh, help me out. All right, so he's got crossface, underhook. Boom, I got my Lotus lockdown, pin, curl, boom, just like that. All right, now I have to find this. This is it, right? Now from here, right, you see how I have this already. Now I'm gonna come back, right? So let's do it again. Do it again. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that
Done,
sucks.
Right? Cool.
Back curling
Yep.
and pulling into
Yep. So the control, flare, curl. And then when you're ready to go, knee to the chest, that's it, right? You're just crunching into the ball. That's you, right? And then use the frame, you'll know what to do, right? You'll just guide him over, right? And then that's it, all right? Cool, so yeah, so don't go for the electric chair yet. Get reps on opening that space, off balancing, get used to it, and then it will pay dividends, all right? Cool. So a couple things to think about when we are in this position, right? It's such a strong position. If he locks in the darts, right? If I somehow like leave my neck out, he locks in the darts, right? Yeah, lock it in, right? So don't panic, yeah, lock it in, lock it. Yeah, that's right, yeah, don't panic, go for the electric chair, all right? If he grabs the guillotine, don't panic, go for the electric chair, all right? So, okay, so.
That is the answer to all things there.
Because the worst thing that will happen is they will let go to base, right? They will let go to base, and then you'll just be, oh shit, dodge a bullet there. Now I gotta make sure I protect my neck a bit more, right? That's number one, right? Then just a couple things to think about, right? Don't just be, oh shit, he's got my neck. Now I'm stuck, fuck, right? If you can get the electric chair, go for it. It will force them to let go to base. Or if they hang on, which happens a lot, then you get the sweep anyways, right? Good, that's the first thing. Second thing is, once I get the electric chair, boom, and then he's beats me to it, he just rolls to his back like that, and then I cannot bring him back, right? But then I still don't want the pass, right? Just keep coming up, drop the shoulder, pass it over. Now I'm still in my position to get the submission, right? So there's no need to, again, just other options to let you see what's possible, all right? Then last one, that's super important, which Josh naturally does. So pass to him would be, who's the strong? Oh, Wataru is pretty freaking strong, right? So Wataru here. Sometimes when you do an electric chair, the person is strong or bigger, so they're here, but then they push themselves back, like this, right? Right? So if I start doing this, they push themselves back, I'm like kind of stuck here, right? So this will happen. So this is when we need to learn to use a whipping and pumping motion to push them over, right? So Wataru, try to stay strong. Oh, yeah. Right? You see how I did like a jackhammer type of thing, right? So it's actually good practice. So you did that. So it's actually good practice when we do the electric chair to assume the person is super strong. So we do that anyways, right? Right? So when you do that, then it just makes the electric chair way more powerful than you don't even have to worry about whether the person is strong or not. Just do that from the very beginning. All right? Cool. So let's feel that, right? So right here, bam, electric chair. Right? You see that?
Yeah.
It's just like don't give them a chance, right? Cool. Make sense? All right. That's it.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Do you have any questions for me, dude? Specific questions about this position?
Sure, I got one. So one thing that I was doing, so Fallon's on top. We were in this battle, he's got this. And then, yeah, I get him up, but he's doing a good job keeping this tight. But this is posted, so I went out this way.
Yep.
Right.
Octopus guard, yes.
Am I okay?
Yeah, you're fine, man.
And then just do my regular one.
Yeah, man, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually a strong attack, right?
Okay.
Very strong attack. And then, so a couple things could happen here. So he might reach back around to try to, Ellen reach back around, right, good. And then when he does that, swim the underhook to the other side and get to that side position, boom, right away. That's it, right? So it's predictable reaction from him. So if he swims that back, just get right back to that.
Back to here, yeah.
And now you're good, right? And then if he doesn't, then just attack from the octopus guard. You can sweep him over or take his back from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right, good.